Hi everyone, this is Norris Tony. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm tonight I'm going to talk about Carlos King and Andy Cohen, but first I'm going to talk about Andy Cohen. To me, Andy Cohen is the dough-faced man, or should I say the dough-faced boy of Bravo. I guess he produces or has a hand in all the TV shows that's on Bravo, especially the Housewives shows. you know, the and then he has a show on called Watch What Happens Live on Bravo as well. I just think the reason why I'm talking about him and Carlos is because they're very similar as far as because Carlos to me is probably is the king of reality TV. He has shows he started out on Bravo with the Real Housewives of Atlanta as an executive producer, and then he then went on from there and produced other shows from, from BT to OWN. But before I really get in on him, talk about him, I want to talk about, Andy Cohen. I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy, but to me, he's very messy. He is, biased. He's just someone who I don't think should be hosting the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Potomac, or what's that other show that come on? Married to Medicine. Not them three reunions. No, absolutely not. Because I think Carlos King should do it. But before I get on Carlos King and why I think Bravo should hire him back to do them three to host them reunions, I'm gonna say that Andy, when it comes to him hosting the shows, them reunion shows, like the Real Housewives of Dallas, the Real Housewives of New York City ain't been on, so I think they canceled. You know, Orange County is still going. He also does Salt Lake City, Beverly Hills, New Jersey, Autumn, with the Caucasian wives. I think that's best, for Andy to host them reunions, and he probably gonna end up hosting Dubai too. But I think that Carlos King should host that, but I'm gonna say why. But for the other housewives shows that I named that he hosted reunions for, I think that that's good for him because when it comes to them Caucasian wives, he treats them equally. He doesn't really, to me, have a favorite when it comes to them. But when it comes to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Potomac, and Married to Medicine, it's like he don't treat them women the same. The black women, he don't treat them the same. He treat the white women better than he does the black women. And then on, like I said, on the reunion on the Caucasian shows, the wives, them reunions, he treat them equally. He don't have a favorite amongst them. He treats them equal across the board. But when it comes to the black housewives, and the doctor wives, and you know um, Married to Medicine crew, he treats them differently. I mean, it's like he don't treat them as good as he does the white wives. And plus, he has a favorite amongst the black wives, or from the black shows. He has a favorite amongst them. He don't treat them equally. So I feel like, he's very, biased in that aspect. And, I think this is where Carlos King comes in. He, started out, like I said, on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The reason why he's not on there anymore is because after season 9, Phaedra accused Candy of, well, she made up or came up with this rumor. She said the producer made it up and told her about it, so she brought it onto the show. A rumor about Candy, drugging people, possibly, doing something illegal to people's drinks, or or doing things illegal to people involving drugs, to get them into her basement, into her dungeon, basically to have sex with them or to hook up with them, basically. That she basically like a drug dealer, something like that. That Phaedra accused her of. I don't want to say the exact words because I don't think that YouTube likes people to use those kind of words. But it was a bad rumor. It was a false rumor too. But Candy turned that situation into a coin. That Seth's dungeon situation, she turned that into a coin, baby. But Phaedra, made it seem like that she do illegal things to people, like involving substances, to get them down there to her dungeon and take advantage of them. Basically, her and her husband tied, which we all know ain't true. So Phaedra, I mean, I like Phaedra. I don't dislike Phaedra. I just hate that she brought that rumor onto the show, and she had Portia believing it. So Portia was the one carrying out the rumor. Phaedra brought it to the show, but Portia carried it out. And then she even said something to Candy about it when they had a sit down lunch. She said, "Well, I heard that you was gonna take me to your basement and get and take advantage of me in your sex dungeon or whatever with substances or illegal substances and stuff like that." And Candy, that really destroyed Candy mentally and, emotionally. That hurt her that somebody would make up a rumor like that about her. Basically, it went on for the whole season of season 9. And then when we got to the reunion, Candy found out that Phaedra told Portia. She finally found out that Phaedra was the one that made up that rumor about drugging and the sex dungeon thing. So she got mad at Phaedra, basically was surprised by her. And it now that's why I think it hurt her. Because her and Phaedra was friends, since season 3 when Phaedra came on the show. Her and Candy was friends, but then again they had, they friendship, I think after season 7 started going downhill. But I'm getting off the topic. I was talking about Carlos King. But basically season 9 was he had hosted season 1 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta to season 9. So season 9 was his last season as an executive producer on the show. And that was after that Phaedra rumor. A lot of people blamed Carlos King for Phaedra bringing that rumor about Candy onto the show. He cleared it up. He said it wasn't true. It wasn't him. So, but yeah, since season 9, since he been gone off of Bravo, Carlos King has made a name for himself. He has produced, BET Encore last season, season 1 that came out. If y'all didn't watch that, y'all need to see if y'all can find that show, and stream it. You can find it online somewhere. But yeah, that was a good show. Then he also produces on OWN the Bell Collective. That season 2 of Bell Collective. That's coming back July 29th on OWN. Then he produces Love and Marriage Huntsville and Love and Marriage DC. And then he produces a new show called The Nightcap. To me, The Nightcap is better than Watch What Happens Live with what Andy does on Bravo. And Carlos is just as messy as Andy. I can deal with his messiness. His messiness is more enjoyable. It's more fun. And Andy, he's just sneaky. He's, like I said, he gaslights people, especially the black housewives. He gaslights them and, don't treat them fairly. And I'm just like, what, Carlos King, if Bravo was to call Carlos King back and let him host the reunions of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Married to Medicine, and Potomac, and even let him host the reunion for Dubai, Real Housewives of Dubai. That's the newest Housewives show on Bravo. Let Carlos King host them because Carlos King is fair. He will treat all those ladies the same. He won't have a favorite amongst them. He see that it'll be more of an even playing field. You let Andy have the White House wives that host them reunions of them shows, and let Carlos take over the black shows that's on Bravo. The black shows, our housewife shows, are better than the Caucasian ones. To be honest, them shows are the one that make Bravo good. They're more entertaining and they have more viewership. But yeah, Andy Cohen to me, he just a knockoff version of Jay Leno. Basically, he just has a sagging Play-Doh face. Basically, that's what he has, a sagging Play-Doh looking face. And he just shady. I mean, he just somebody I just don't trust. And like I said, Carlos King I think would be a better host for the to host the reunion of them shows that I named. And then also the nightcap, like I said, is better than Watch What Happens Live. And Carlos King, like I said, he's a real good producer. He's the king of reality TV for a reason. And like I said, let him host them reunions on Bravo with the Black Wives in the shows, because he would be better at it than dear old Andy. But like I said, I just wanted to talk about them two men and talk about or talk about them, and as far as who would be a better host of which housewife shows. And check out Carlos King on his shows. Bell Collective, which coming back next month. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Love and Marriage DC with Monique Samuels. She the main star of that show, and she was on Real Housewives of Potomac, for seasons 2 through 5. And talking about Andy Cohen, he lighted the mess out of her at that season 5 reunion. That was her last season of the show, and that's the season that her and Candace got into that fight. And at that reunion, he gaslighted Monique. He really did not treat her fair. Out of all the wives there, he mistreated her and her husband Chris the most. So that's one reason why I don't like him, and I feel like why I don't really care for him. Not dislike him, but really don't care for him. But like I said, and then when you got the Caucasian wives, them housewives, them shows that I named earlier, they done a lot worse. They done that. They're more violent than the black housewives. If you think about it, they fought a lot more. And what Monique did with Candace was, hit her upside her head and dragged her across the table on that season 5 when they poured her hair. That's it. She ain't do that. I mean, which was basically she was in the wrong for it, but I understand why she did it, and she apologized for it later. But still, get Andy. I didn't like the way Andy handled her. I felt like she deserved some grace. You know, what she did was wrong. It wasn't right. She shouldn't have attacked Candace, but still, she owned up to it later. And I don't fully support it, but like I said, I understood what was going on in that moment. I wish she could have held back, but she did what she felt like in that what was. I mean, it was a heat of the moment. She acted the way that she felt like she had to act. I don't agree with it, but I still like Monique. I care about Monique, and I wish her the best of luck on this, Love and Marriage DC, and hopefully they get a season 2 because we get to see because of Carlos King, we get to see more of her life and her husband's life on Love and Marriage than we did on Potomac. Because on Potomac it's more about Giselle and Robin and all them and Karen. So really they didn't get let Monique shine the way that she can shine on Love and Marriage DC. But so good move by Carlos King for scooping her up. And I'm sure Carlos King, like I said, to me he's a better producer than Andy, and I like him better. But anyway, once again, I just wanted to give my opinion about Andy Cohen and Carlos King and the TV shows that they produce and who should host the reunions. That's basically what I wanted to talk about. But I hope you all like this video. That's important. And like I said, I hope you all like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you want. And thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye.